Okay, what habits get you jacked as fuck? Now, the thing is, there are multiple things that you can do, trainings, workouts. Um, you can get so much knowledge, but if you implement some key habits, it's actually quite easy to get into a physique and then it is even easier to just maintain it. And this video is just like purely informational and simplified, and it's just for you to know what habits that have helped me over the past 8 years to get a really good physique. And I've noted down in this document what helped me and what I still use actually. Why do you actually need habits? You have to understand what habits are. They are made out of your thoughts and emotions. So whatever thought and emotion you have will create a habit that you will perform in your life. Then those habits actually create a routine, and upon that you are consistent. So if you struggle in some certain aspects in your life, it means that you didn't have any habits implemented in your life in the past. Your habits shape who you want to become in the future. So that's why you need habits, and everyone has habits. It's not that yeah, you need habits. Like everyone has habits, but you need to fine tune it to your liking and what you want to become later in life. So the reasons why your habits suck is that you don't have a structured routine and therefore consistency. Your day-to-day life do not bring you any result, the result that you want, and you feel unmotivated because of it, because like, yeah, what I'm doing wrong, uh, I'm still getting after it every day, but maybe there are some in your day-to-day life that you haven't realized what habits are actually damaging you and what are bringing you forward. Now, you feel unmotivated when you get out of bed, and that sets a tone for the day. So there are some things right there that you have to do for you in order to have a good start of the day. Because if you don't have a good start of the day, you're basically fucked already. Key habits that need to be in place. Now, the key habits that have helped me to get in that physique, the habits that I maintain, I'm going to go over that and how to stick to them with consistency and discipline. Your day-to-day life. Look, you have to become aware of yourself and but not in the Buddhist sense. But you have to become aware of yourself. There's nothing spiritual going on here. It's just you seeing your day-to-day life go by. Become aware of your routine and your habits, what you do on a day-to-day basis. You can even write it down. That helped me. I grabbed a piece of paper and I wrote all my habits down from the moment I get up until I went to sleep, what I did in that day. Like that, you're going to see how your day looked like. And in order to change, you first have to identify all the habits that you're doing right now. Just grab a piece of paper and just write it down. It only takes like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Yeah, indeed. So you go from the morning in between until the night. And you start eliminating one by one. You're going to cross one that you won't do the next day. You're going to keep that list with you or beside your bed. And the next day you're going to cross another one and then another one. But you have to then fill in the habits that you want. So when you cross one, you actually have more time again, but then you have to fill up that time so you don't get bored. Fill that in with a good habit or a key habit that I will go over. So realize that you don't have a structure and cannot be consistent due to that. If you don't really have a structure with all habits being implemented in your day-to-day, then how are you going to get jacked? How are you going to get your six-pack or your sexy legs? You need to be the 2.0 version of yourself. So that one that you're looking up to, you can have that too. If you look up to someone that has a nice physique, just see what they do for habits and then just implement that into your life. But you need a structure. Past mistakes and your parents' influence can damage that structure, or the foundation is not that great. I had a good upbringing from my parents. I had good education and they teach me core values, and from the moment I was born until I was a child, a teenager, and now I'm an adult, they've gave me good education and they showed me what life really was. Your parents and even mine cannot create a better version of yourself. You have to do that yourself. They can give you stuff, but they can't give you everything. So your parents' influence, if they told you like anything about training or workouts, their relationship to workouts and trainings and philosophy around it or mindset is never going to be the same, and is for no one the same. They will just pass that on to you, and then you have a vision about workouts, trainings, and whole philosophy around it, and nutrition. All your knowledge that you had was through books, school, and your parents and friends. You need to let go of past mistakes and the influence of other people. So identify for yourself what good habits are and what your bad habits are. So you got your list, right? And you're scratching off bad habits that you think your 2.0 version will damage. So find habits that is supportive to that 2.0 version and make it personalized and a why behind them. So, for example, if you want to go cold shower, why are you going to do a cold shower? Why? For me, it's because I get more confidence when I go out of it. I feel energized, and just for me to be like disciplined, I like to be disciplined. I like to somewhat punish myself than after I get immediate gratification because of it. Define your why behind it, because you're going to have to be consistent with that. And also allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to receive the result. Don't expect any result. Be consistent and disciplined with those habits, and also the key habits that I will tell you, and just allow yourself to receive it and don't expect any result. If you're unmotivated to get out of bed, it means that last night you didn't properly shut off your computer. Not your physical computer, but the computer inside of your head. You stuffed it with information, and all your taskbars and processes are still running in the background, and they're all processing this information. So if you've been scrolling on your phone on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, and then directly go after that in bed, of course you're not gonna have a good sleep. Your mind is overblown with all these colors and information, and it's crazy how much information we get nowadays. The people that lived before like computers and multimedia, the only information that they were exposed to was school, books, newspaper, and just other people. But now we have so much access to all this information, and our brains, they can handle it. They do. But it also depends on what information you consume. Because imagine just scrolling on TikTok with all these different opinions and all different styles and emotions. And if you just grab a book that is just a decent book with just self-improvement, you read it and you get one philosophy, one idea, and you can rest upon that and know that it's not bullshit. Because you can scroll on TikTok and there are so many people with different opinions, but not all is based on trial and error. Some people have opinions that will damage you, your person, and will make you think in a spiral loop and rabbit hole. But if you have a book, you know that you're reading decent information, and that will help you in your future part of your life. Like that, you're going to have better sleep as well. And you're not going to get out of bed like an unmotivated piece of shit. And no hydration. You didn't drink properly before you go to sleep. You don't have to chug a whole bottle of water, but before you go to sleep, like the last 3 hours, make sure you have a good hydration. Make sure you hydrate yourself properly, because after that, you're just like 7 hours or 8 hours without water. You don't burn a lot, right? You don't burn a lot of calories, but still you're gonna feel dehydrated when you wake up. And if you just gradually drink good amounts of water before you go to sleep, you're not gonna feel like shit. And you maybe ate like shit. You didn't eat properly with good nutrition. If you stuffed yourself with pizza and fries and burgers last night and chocolate and all that kind of stuff, of course, your body needs to digest that, and after that, you're just gonna have to process that energy that you've just been consuming. And it's bad food, so you don't feel right. And your phone is not on a closet. So if you set an alarm, put it on a closet or somewhere far away from your bed. Like that, you're going to jump out of your bed and get out of your bed. Because if you just hit snooze, it's easy, right? There's not a lot of resistance. So put it on top of a closet, that's what I do. And then I get out of bed, I need to grab it, and then I put not snooze, just tap it off. And then I know like I'm already up. I don't have to go into my bed. It's like there's more resistance to getting back into the bed. Now, what are the key habits that you need to implement and that I still implement? Fasting. So it doesn't matter what you want to do of fasting. There is multiple methods. What I use is intermittent fasting, where you don't basically eat for like 16 hours and then 8 hours you do eat. And you can set your own time frame. Just look into that. Find some videos on YouTube. I'm going to make one maybe later. That would be a nice topic. Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, just get some knowledge about fasting and implement that in your day-to-day life. Sometimes I like to do a whole day. When I had a cheat meal or a cheat day even, the day after, I sometimes tend to fast for 24 hours. And if you do it for 24 hours, you don't lose a lot of strength and muscle mass. You basically actually don't lose strength and muscle mass. I tried it multiple times, so I don't see any decrease. But it gives your body to rest and repair, and it gives your stomach a rest as well from digesting all the food all the time. So you will be automatically in a sort of calorie deficit, and a calorie deficit makes sure you will burn fat. And if you fast, you're going to get in a ketosis state, especially if you fast for 16 hours. You get into ketosis, and that means that you don't use sugar or coal or carbs for energy, and you're going to use fat for energy. So it's like a cheat code in life for me, and especially if you want to get jacked and shredded. Implement mindful eating and proper hydration. How I do that is by starting to count your calories. That's how you start. So, and I know it sounds tough and a lot to do, but just pick up a scale and look at the label of what food that you're going to consume. And with being mindful, each time you make a meal out of single ingredients and not processed ingredients or processed meals. Everything that is processed is meaning that you put multiple ingredients in one single object that you're going to eat. Of course, it's going to be high in calories then, but if you have one ingredient like an apple, which is fruit, it's one ingredient, one apple. There's not a lot of calories in that, and that's a lot of volume. So mindful eating is eating a lot actually, but high in volume and not processed. And if you're going to start counting your calories, you're going to become aware of what's really in your food. And after that, you don't really have to count calories anymore. You get that skill. You have it then. You get your plate on a restaurant and you know what's on your plate. Some people get their plate on a restaurant and then they ask me like, hey, is this good, It's like, yeah, it's chicken. And yeah, like the sauce, is that like not damaging? I'm like, no, it's fats, it's okay. It's a nice skill to have and a nice habit to implement. Progressive strength training, and that is consistent by stacking that on top of a habit. So for me, how I started to do that consistently and progressive, like training that get you muscle, is I like to game, I like gaming and I still do. I get into my workout clothes, I start a game, I play for about 30 minutes, and then normally I already took some pre-workout and then that's kicked in. And then at that 30-minute mark, I just shut off the game and I go straight into training. You can like switch the habits with like, first you're going to train for like for 45 minutes to an hour, and then you satisfy yourself with some gaming. You can do that too, but the thing about that is that you will always think about the gaming part and not the training. Therefore, you won't really enjoy the training. Meditating to get a vision. So you might be skeptical, and if you're skeptical, I feel really sorry for you if you haven't tried meditating already. You won't gain a superpower, I can already tell you that. It gives you a vision to where you want to go in life, and it makes you become even more aware of your habits and your routines and your thoughts, because eventually your thoughts and your emotions create your habits. So if you are at the root when meditating, you can and that's like the scary part about it, you can almost reprogram your whole future. Being bold doesn't mean that you have to be disrespectful, but it's like you will get the result. So take every information from other people and that you see online as just, okay, I got that now, I got the information about how to get six packs, or this meal is so good and high in protein. It's like, okay, I got it, you receive the information, but be bold. You know that you're going to get your results either way. Don't jump into everyone, like into their routine or how they implement their habits or how they have so successful life. I should just replicate that. Be consistent with your own habits and your key habits and expect no result, but know that the result is coming. Proper content with reading and coaching. So you need to educate yourself and on a daily basis. If you want to look into nutrition and proper training and programs, for me, I gain more knowledge when I read. So if I want to learn more about calisthenics, I will literally buy a book about calisthenics or a program, and I will immerse myself into it. And it's nice to get a lot of information on social media, but eventually it's just better to grab something that already works and then immerse yourself in it, test it, do it, be consistent. Then you will see that it works, and try different stuff, read different stuff. And I said, yeah, be bold because you know you're getting the result, but still, you have to educate yourself. But be mindful of what education you take. Quality recovery and sleep. When you're training, rest between your sets and respect your rest time. Don't go back into it thinking that, you already got the energy. Rest at least like 60 seconds before going into a hard set again. You need to respect the recovery and implement rest days as well. You can make yourself the perfect routine where you are almost a robot. Your body cannot take on that many stress on a week-to-week basis. So implement rest days, but not rest days as in cheat days, but rest days as in some mobility exercises. Go for a longer reading session or a longer meditation session if you don't train. Yeah, things like that. Get enough sleep, like 7 hours. That should be your goal. And if you can, 8. And if you cannot, redesign your day-to-day routine. Write down again on a list and see what habits you can discard in order for you so you can sleep 7 hours. So like to summarize it, you have to become aware of your day-to-day routine, identify and then start eliminating. You start implementing habits that have a why behind it and that has a purpose behind it. You shut yourself off properly before going to sleep and implement the key habits that I just told you. If you do all that, you will get a good looking body and you will have a lot of confidence. Life will almost feel like play, especially on a physical game. So I hope this video helped you. And yeah, if you still have some questions, just leave them in the comments below. And you can follow me on Instagram. I will leave the description and the link. I will leave the link in the description. And yeah, all right. See ya.